You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Hello, everybody. Elias and Lucas here at Fat Jack's once again. Another beautiful Sunday. Just kidding. It's terrible and rainy.
Yeah, you can't even see like anything up in the sky. Like it's honestly awful.
Yeah, not great. But we're here once again to show you guys some cool books, and hopefully there's some stuff that interests you guys, and you want to make a purchase. This week there were a lot of releases. It was a really huge week for comics. DC had a Green Arrow #1, bringing that character back, I believe, from the dead.
Yeah. Basically, he was lost during Infinite Crisis. He got killed, and so he was the major death that I guess Joshua Williamson hinted at during that event. But I haven't read Green Arrow 1 yet, so I don't know how he comes back. I still got to read that. We also had a Hulk end, which was
Hulk is over.
Hulk is finally over, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty happy that it's over. I'm excited for Philip Kennedy Johnson to take over.
Yeah,
he's just one of those characters.
Philip Kennedy and Nick Klein are going to be taking over that book. But first, there's going to be an annual, which I'm curious to see which writers have their own short stories in the annual. I don't think there's going to be any one focus, so that's kind of cool. And then I think it's in June we're going to get the Incredible Hulk book.
Yeah, they said June.
Yeah, and bringing the Incredible back, bringing that adjective back.
Yeah. Also, Action Comics released. That was really sick. I actually read that last night. That was really good.
Amazing issue. I was not expecting that.
I love the bringing back of Cyborg Superman. That was a really fun twist. I caught up on Guardians also. That didn't release this week, but I caught up on it.
Yeah, Guardians was
that was cool. I read Hallow's Eve too.
Yeah.
Hallow's Eve was actually sick.
Yeah.
Surprisingly cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. Would you mind just hitting my comments? I realize we don't have comments up there. Or do you want to just do it?
Yeah, I can just do it here. Dark Crisis had me confused. A lot of cool stuff. Also, we had the ending of Sins of Sinister, which that was probably the biggest thing that released this Wednesday.
Yep, Sins of Sinister.
That was such a good ending.
Closing out that arc and bringing us right into potential threats in the fall of X. So more doom and gloom for the mutants soon to come.
Yeah, of course. It's never sunshine and rainbows for the mutants, is it?
No, never.
It's always the worst possible stuff that could happen.
Yeah. Hey Preston, hey Fred, hey Nick. Hope everyone's doing well. But yeah, huge week this week. A lot of good stuff to read. I caught up on everything that came out this week, at least. And now I just have some old stuff to read up on, like Department of Truth.
Yeah.
That's getting a show. I wish I had those books here, but those
sold
went instantly. And I think they reached a fourth or a fifth printing.
They already maxed out the printings of the single issues. It's they're not getting any more printings.
Yep.
It's only going to be trade paperbacks from here on out for those issues, at least until we get new issues.
Yeah.
What else was
there? But yeah, if you have any questions about anything on the rack, you guys know you can comment. We got some new and old stuff today. Still kind of leaving some modern keys up there because I think that those are hot. And
cool.
What else came out this week?
I'm trying to think what else came out this week. I mean, we have Blastar, the Guardians of the Galaxy thing.
Did
with
you read
Blastar.
that?
I did not read it.
Yeah, I
But
read it. It's super silly. It's
Is
just
it?
like it's almost like a kid's book or something. I don't know why.
I'm very much unsurprised.
I guess because the main Guardians book is so
Serious?
It's so serious.
It's like
and
Groot killing like entire planets and civilizations,
and not like movie promotion Groot. It's
just Groot
they
planet.
just wanted Bane to kind of mellow out people. I guess I don't know.
I guess
It's a one shot, so hopefully some people pick it up if they want to get into Guardians. But yeah,
Caught up on Flash. Flash is really good. Flash
is
crazy.
nearing 800, right?
Yeah, and it's going to end. At least for the current
comes
writer.
out this week, I believe.
Yep, once it hits 800, that's going to be the end of this writer's run, which has been amazing. But last issue, he brought Young John and Young Damien back.
That's really
like through the time stream, and it was like a little like, and them working with like the West Kids, which was kind of wild. So I was not expecting that.
Neat, very cool.
Free Comic Book Day though is gonna be exciting.
Oh, Free Comic Book Day coming up May 6th. We're here on 2006 Sansom Street in Philly, so please come by, pick up some free books. We're gonna have a lot of dollar books as well. If you're looking for deals, we got a lot of dollar books. There's always gems to find in there, and there's always some mystery bundles and some discount bundles of arcs and story arcs and stuff like that as well.
Also had what's it called? Deep Cuts. Deep Cuts was really good.
Deep Cuts #1 came out this week. That's from Image.
Kyle was really good.
Kyle Higgins. It's a jazz book.
It's a jazz history book, which I never thought I would like say that Kyle Higgins is writing a jazz history book, but it's really good. Like I really enjoyed the story and really enjoyed the character.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be short stories featuring different people in each book.
Like each era, quote unquote, jazz. So like this was early jazz, next is swing.
Yeah,
is what I'm guessing. But next has a female protagonist.
Yeah,
as the main character. So yeah.
All right. Let's pick a book.
Pick a book, any book.
Let's see. Okay. All right. Ultimate Fallout, issue 1. This is Spider-Man No More, issue 1. Very fine plus for $10.
Yeah.
This is the mini following the Ultimate Universe's Spider-Man's death.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember reading that the first time and just being like, man, they're just really killing him off. And it was wild. Do you remember how he died? Like what happened? It all happened in one day. Like it was really awful.
What wasn't it? Each of the Sinister Six.
All the Sinister Six went after him,
yeah.
And then on top of that, Goblin appeared at Aunt May's house. He was already tired,
Mm.
No. So he got shot. He saved Cap. Punisher shot him through the stomach, and then he went to Aunt May's house. Goblin was there. He fought Goblin into the street, grabbed the semi truck, and fucking threw it at him.
Yeah.
And then he died from his bullet wound because he was still bleeding.
Yeah.
Because Punisher killed him, and Punisher turned himself in later because of that.
Obviously, that they would never do that in the main 616 universe because it just shows how many enemies Spidey has and how if he was just overwhelmed and just all of them, threw themselves at him at once, it would probably spell out his doom. But they were bold enough to do it in the Ultimate Universe, and of course, it led to the birth of Miles Morales, Spider-Man, who we all know and love now.
Yeah.
This mini kind of just delves more into the shockwave of effects that Peter's death had on the people of the Ultimate Universe.
Because not only is it Peter dying, but it's also Spider-Man being revealed to have been a kid, being revealed to have been Peter Parker, like all these different things. So now Aunt May and Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane are now having to deal with repercussions of being quote unquote Spider-Man's family and friends and girlfriend. So it's a lot more chaotic.
A lot of pressure on them, right? They were like, almost almost blamed for not doing anything.
I think Aunt May was even sued at one point for like Spider-Man not saving someone, and like Tony Stark handled it and was like, nah, like we're not dealing with that.
Right.
My sensitive ears with Lucas cursing, but at least I spelled his name right.
So, also a event coming this year. Marvel has a lot of events. Is the Ultimate Invasion event, which is going to be. Is it Ewing?
It's full. No. It's Jonathan Hickman.
Right. Jonathan Hickman
4 issues.
and Brian Hitch. 4 issues of the Ultimate Invasion event, which is going to supposedly bring the Ultimate Universe back to the 616 universe.
Yeah,
so
I'm interested. It's going to be following up what happened at the end of Spider-Man 2 and the more recent Miles Morales run, I guess. Not the one that's coming out currently, but the one before that.
And also the Venom run.
Yes,
where
Maker went back
to go to the ruins of the Ultimate Universe.
It's really been built up, honestly.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising because I'm pretty sure none of them talked to each other about that before.
Right.
But it's kind of setting up perfectly for Hickman to just be like, and they're back and they're angry.
Yeah.
So be concerned because they're not going to be bringing any mercy this time.
Yeah. So hopefully Ultimate Invasion will spark a new love of the Ultimate Universe for comic readers who were unfamiliar with that universe.
Do you think they would do another take of the Ultimate Universe? Like this just reboots the Ultimate Universe and they do it again?
That would actually be very cool. What if they just had a whole new slew of titles that was just the ultimate titles?
Yeah, they just start like, what if Peter Parker was born like in 2000, or like 2003? Like they just keep like every couple decades they just do another Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, that could be cool.
That could actually be pretty sick. Yeah, Hickman has been one of the best writers in today's comics. It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah.
For his gods. Is he writing? Wait, what does that mean? His gods.
Can't wait for his new gods. Is that another series he's working on?
Yeah, because I don't know about that book.
Yeah.
But no, I mean
he hasn't done a lot recently, right?
No, he after Krakoa, he took a step back and he kind of just went and kind of just chilled for a little bit. But now he's coming back.
Great. Well, I have high hopes for this series. Only 4 issues, which for an event is, especially for Marvel, is short. I think that the Sins of Sinister event was beautifully paced.
Probably one of the best examples of an event done in recent history, like pacing-wise.
I think so.
A comic each week, and then 1 week of rest between each time jump.
Yeah.
You go comic, break, comic, break. It was a really well done event.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it if you haven't read it. Especially because we got to see some of the foreshadowing variants.
Yeah.
And now they make sense.
They did a foreshadow they're doing a foreshadow variant thing more recently, Marvel. Which I think is at least better than the spoiler variants, because it doesn't directly show you what's going to happen. It just kind of gives you a still shot of something that's to come in the Marvel future. But the spoiler variants, I don't understand why those aren't sealed or something.
Why would you just put they should be in a bag? Like Elias was saying, they should be in a bag so that people can't really see them unless you're actually grabbing that variant, because it kind of ruins it for everyone else.
Yeah, I think the poly bag is a good way to go. For example, Age of Ultron, the more polarizing event, had the first appearance of Angela in it. And they did a Angela variant, but they wrapped it in black poly bags so that people couldn't actually see who was on the cover, which was Angela in that variant. So I don't know if maybe they cheapened out a little bit on that, but I was complaining to Lucas yesterday because Immortal Hulk got spoiled for me towards the end of the run too. It was
what was it?
So
do you remember?
It was a Devil Hulk spoiler. It was I think it was just Devil Hulk getting killed by the leader or something. And I was like I was so mad.
That was
a spoiler variant. So.
Isn't it wild that I for the longest time I didn't accept that he actually died, but no, that
was crazy. And if you read the recent Hulk run, they were attempting to do something with the
big emphasis on attempt
with the below place and with leader. but I don't think we'll ever find out what that was.
Yeah. Substack. So Hickman might have been doing some Substack work that was being printed by Image. So maybe that's something that he was doing. I'm guessing.
Cool.
He's saying Hickman was doing GODS, House of X. I know he was doing a House of X. I don't know what GODS is. Yeah, I don't know that one. But
House and Powers were amazing.
Yeah, and one of the best soft reboots I've ever read. Period.
Yeah.
Like that's a perfect way to explain why everything is different. It was so well done. So well done.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's grab another comic and talk about another.
Remember
Ultimate Fallout, issue number 1 for $10.
Yep, Very Fine Plus, Ultimate Fallout number 1, $10. Just $10. Do you want to go in the spider route, or do you want to go somewhere else?
I'm thinking Static. I'm kind of feeling a little bit of Static.
All right.
So James Gunn recently confirmed to some fans that Static is going to be getting some form of love within the DC universe. So obviously we had to bring up that Static's current season 1, issue number 1 books have been amazing. Right now we're on season 2, which is Shadows of Dakota. Really top notch. It's a great adaptation between the original Static run and the newer revamped version that the Milestone universe is kind of bringing.
So I have Static season 1, number 1. This is the beginning of his recent run for $5.50. This is a variant cover. Very nice variant cover right here. $5.50, very good shape, near mint, I would say.
And Static's wearing his classic costume in this, so I mean, hey.
He's had a lot of great costumes. I do kind of like this one, but I think the current costume that they're working him is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely the best of both worlds, easily.
Yeah. I think this would do.
Oh, okay. So Gods is a comic about cosmic entities like the Living Tribunal.
Huh.
I have to hear about that. I haven't heard about
Definitely
that.
Definitely gotta check that out. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, like Hickman writing cosmic stuff is always guaranteed.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Guaranteed win.
This week I did some organizing of my comic collection, and I basically the Avengers Hickman run is one of the first runs that I was trying to consistently follow as a younger kid. And I definitely had some holes in there because I wasn't a subscriber at any one shop. I'm from New Jersey originally, and there's a lot of shops in my area, luckily. So I would kind of go to and fro. But this week I went back through my collection, finally wrote down which issues I'm missing, found a lot of them here at Fat Jack's. But yeah, it's an amazing run, and I think it's one of the higher concept Avengers runs.
Yeah.
So maybe not beginner level, like maybe not entry level Avengers stuff, but fantastic book. So yeah.
I think what do you think about Iron Man wearing the black and yellow armor? What do you think about that?
The black and gold armor?
Yeah.
I
think it's an interesting design change, but I actually kind of like it because it makes him seem more professional. Yeah, I guess that's the best way to put it. More professional, more serious.
The red and gold was always such a weird choice to me because, especially like in the movie, like doesn't he joke about it being like a race car,
hot rod
red or whatever?
Well, the reason why he's using the gold, they explain it in the movie. It's because it's to stop the ice from freezing over when he enters into the atmosphere.
Okay.
Because remember in the first movie, he defeats Ironmonger by going up, and it freezes the suit.
Right.
But he didn't want it to just be gold, so he was like overlay it with red.
Okay.
That was the explanation, quote unquote. But I don't think there's an explanation at all in the actual comics for why he chose red.
Because obviously his first suit was just the plain silver, steel or whatever.
And then he eventually went to just gold.
Yeah. So the original bulky Tales of Suspense Iron Man suit, just felt a little more realistic, I guess, or more practical.
I kind of love the Silver Centurion look, honestly.
I do like that look. The red and silver is nice.
I think it just complements it way better than red and gold. I feel like red and gold kind of clash a little bit too much, but that's just my personal idea.
No, that used to be one of my favorites for sure.
I'm kind of angry that we never got like a real like the closest that we got to the Silver Centurion suit, like actually Tony wearing it, was the Iron Man 3 suit that was destroyed in like one scene, and then the suitcase suit because it was silver and red.
Right.
But yeah, no, awesome. Hey Preston, hey Larissa. Welcome everyone. If you're tuning in now, we're discussing Static. We went on to a tangent about Iron Man for some reason.
Oh, I think it was because of one of the comments.
Yeah, because one of the comments.
But no, Gods, Jonathan Hickman. I will definitely check that out.
Yeah, I will also. But anyway, back to Static. This I'm actually really liking the milestone direction. They're doing seasonal stories, so it's giving time for the writers and artists to kind of relax, think about the story, not having to pump out issues nonstop, always leave with cliffhangers. It's honestly a really smart way to do it.
That's what they did with this recent Swamp Thing book. They broke it up into two halves there, which is kind of a great format just in general. I wouldn't be opposed to them doing that with more books. It
to keep the same artist and writer just like consistently at the top of their game and not having to like scramble for a cliffhanger or.
And it's never an indefinite break. It's sort of just like, hey, we're going to give you guys the best product that we can. So just, wait, a few months or whatever it might be. And then, we'll return and enjoy it, that much more when it comes back. So, season 1. So I have issue 1 here. This is a variant for $5.50.
Blue Beetle.
All right, Nick wants to hit up the Blue Beetle. So we're going to take a break from Static.
And go right to
the Blue Beetle. I pulled some Ted Cord era issues from the 80s, so 87 and on. Some early issues here. Here I have a Fine Plus copy of Blue Beetle issue 10 for $6. $6. Facing off against Kronos, the Time Thief.
Obviously, he has to be clock themed, as that is part of the contract of being a time villain. You automatically sign away your rights to your face and have it contorted into a clock. It's a pretty awful deal if you think about it.
So I'm curious. I only watched one Blue Beetle trailer, but is Ted Cord himself alive in that universe, or do you don't know if he's dead or alive?
We don't know, but the Blue Beetle mobile or the ship is in the show. Okay, so
all right, Nick is claiming Blue Beetle number 10.
I need a pen.
Take mine.
Okay.
So I'm not sure yet if he's going to actually show up in the movie. Obviously, we saw his cave and we saw some old Blue Beetle suits in the trailer.
We also saw the original Blue Beetle suit too. So it was the original, then Ted Cord's in like a glass case. So we at least know those. At least they will be referenced. They're going to Cord Industries. It's going to be talked about.
Yeah, and this is one of the earliest Blue Beetle runs you can find. Len Wein is the writer on these. Fantastic writer. Len Wein, Paris Collins, and Del Barris is the listed team for this run. Next up, I have Blue Beetle issue 12. Very good plus for $2. Just $2 on this one. Do you want to hold these? Or am I close enough?
I think it's fine right now, honestly.
That's fine.
Also, I think the chargers.
Yeah, no, it's a mess.
This
is Blue Beetle, Ted Cord fighting alongside the New Teen Titans, which at the time featured Nightwing, Cyborg, looks like Donna Troy, Beast Boy, Starfire.
I don't know who that last person is.
And Blonde Boy.
Blonde Boy. That's his name now.
the new Teen Titans facing off against the Hybrid.
The current Teen Titans show is ending soon, which I'm very happy because
is it like ending?
It's ending.
Oh wow, okay.
They finally transformed Beast Boy past 2 transformations. Woo!
Incredible.
I know, right? He turned into a grizzly bear.
Hopefully, James Gunn will have other ideas for what to do with that budget that was wasted on that show.
Blue Beetle 12 is also claimed.
All right. Nick's gonna get his
Blue Beetle.
his early Blue Beetle collection filled up.
Next up,
Blue Beetle issue number 14. This is a very fine condition. This is the first appearance of the villain Catalyst, and this is $4.
but I'm kind of happy that the show is ending. Hopefully, James Gunn has a significantly better idea.
I hope that like the shows that he was talking about, like the Creature Commandos animated, like we already had a still from that, or maybe not a still, but
it was
promo art. It was still.
It was a still.
So hopefully those are like closer on the horizon.
Because
I know he's got also the Amanda Waller show that's coming up too.
Yeah, that should be fun. You know what I think I'm most excited for is to see the costume designs of some of the teams. Because as much as I don't like the Titans show, I do have to admit the Titans costume department earned their bread. They really put out really high quality costumes. Like Nightwing looked really good. Beast Boy finally got a costume. It was funny. Every time he transformed in the show, he would just get naked.
Uh-huh.
And they finally, in the last season, give him a costume
they didn't have the budget.
They didn't have the budget, so they finally gave him a costume. And Nick will claim Blue Beetle number 14.
All right.
Okay.
You get your very own first appearance of Catalyst.
Next up, we have Blue Beetle is at 18 with Ted Cord being choked out by the original Blue Beetle.
Isn't this cool? So this is a very fine condition copy of Blue Beetle number 18 for $6.50. Beetle versus Beetle. We actually have the original Blue Beetle
from
Charleston. Fighting Ted Cord Blue Beetle. $6.50.
Blue Beetle really does work best when playing off Ted Cord. I mean, playing off of Booster Gold. I said Ted Cord.
Yeah.
Booster Gold. They work really well together. Like Booster and Ted are both goofy, but Ted is a little bit more serious. But Booster also knows when to get his stuff together.
Yeah.
So it's always been a really good balance between the two. I feel like
they had great moments in the Human Target book, the recent Human Target book. That brought back the OG feel to those characters.
It's claimed. Okay, Blue Beetle 16.
Blue Beetle 16 claimed.
Yep.
I'm not sure what the story is in this one, but it's pretty cool that they brought back the original Blue Beetle to face off
Ted.
Ted was in the recent Human Target run, and also was in the Blue Beetle Graduation Day book.
Nick,
alive and well.
Nick asked for us to go quickly because he has to leave in a minute, but he wants to go through these quickly. Okay. So let's just run through them real quick.
We'll hit them all. So, very fine copy of Blue Beetle 19, $9. Okay. This cover is actually by Mike Mignola, which I thought was very cool. $9 for issue 19, right here. $9. This is one of Mike Mignola's earlier works, if I understand correctly. He started in the industry in the 80s. He penciled all of the Rocket Raccoon mini.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Next up, we'll just say move it.
Very fine copy of Blue Beetle number 21. Looks like he's teaming up with Mr. Miracle in this one, which is very cool, fighting the villain Overthrow. Very fine copy, $4. $4.
And Nick claims Blue Beetle 19.
Got 19.
I really hope Nick really likes bugs because he's about to get a bunch of beetles in his mail soon.
Yes, sir. 21, $4. And lastly, issue 22, very fine copy for $6.
Yes.
$6, and it looks like we're facing the return of Kronos. Having a jolly old time giving Ted a run for his money.
Okay, Nick claims 21.
We're probably getting these, a few seconds after you actually put them in, Nick. So sorry if it's taken a second, but we're at the mercy of old
Lag.
Wi-Fi and lag here.
But yeah, now
So 21 is the last one I have here.
And then that one is 20. What is that?
This is 22.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And then 22 is the last one.
Oh.
Internet on this computer keeps.
Lost history.
Be okay.
22, very fine for $6.
Gotta love Dell computers. Hopefully, you're never sponsored by them.
Chugging along. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Claim Blue Beetle number 22. Okay. So all the Blue Beetles are for Dick.
Whole stack is yours, Nick. These are all for you.
Okay. Next up, let's go back a little bit to Static. Now that we were talking about that. But yeah, seasonal comics, pretty sick. Also, love the redesign for his costume. They paid homage to the original, but then kind of brought in the Static Shock TV show costume, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yep.
I love the baseball cap, the glasses, the shirt, everything about it looks sick.
So this is a cover A copy of Static Season 1, number 1 for $6. Static Season 1, number 1, cover A, so main cover right here. If you're looking to get into this kind of cult classic fan favorite character, this is a great place to start. I would say, would you say you could also get into Shadows of Dakota?
Yeah, Shadows of Dakota, honestly, you could easily get into it without really prior context of the last season. It's very reader friendly, I guess, these seasons, because this season just starts out with Static already being a hero, and he's just kind of doing his thing, and his friends are kind of all know his secret identity. His parents know his secret identity. That's the only key difference, I would say, is that the people around him know that he's Static. And I think that's pretty interesting that they know immediately.
Yeah.
But yeah, we also have this 90s Tastic variant cover.
This is a nice collector's edition, Static number 1.
With 4 panels of a giant 16-panel mural. No, it's not. Is
it the Season 1, number 1?
Yeah, it is. Or Season 2, actually.
Oh, this is Shadows. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is actually Shadows, but it's a variant that they made specifically for that.
Cool. So this is a polybag wrapped 90s homage to that collector's edition style that they would do. $10.50 for this book right here. It includes a trading card, which they also would include in the 90s polybag books. It includes a poster and 4 panels of a giant 16-panel mural.
So collect them all.
So collect them all. $10.50, Static number 1, Shadows of Dakota number 1. This is the start of Season 2. So
yeah.
$10.50.
But yeah, Static TV show. You know what's also crazy?
I wouldn't mind that if they just did an animated, to be honest. If they just went back to the animated format.
I would love that. Nick's asking, what are the top left books?
Top left books. I have some newer Blue Beetle, and I have like the Infinite Crisis stuff where Jaime Reyes first debuted. I don't have his first appearance though. So if you're looking for more Blue Beetle, this is a second printing of issue 1 for $10. This is very fine condition.
Blue Beetle number 1.
It's a black and white variant to show that it's the second printing.
Yeah. But yeah.
So if you're looking for more Blue Beetle stuff, this is Jaime Reyes focused.
And then we also have the more recent series and the New 52 version of Jaime Reyes too.
So this is a 0 issue from the New 52 era for $8. Blue Beetle issue 0. That's 8. And then I also have Blue Beetle Graduation Day number 1. This is a variant. I believe this is the incentive 1 in 25 for $14.99.
Yeah, it just ended too.
Yep, just ended.
Pretty fun series.
So you finished it?
Yeah, I finished it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We forgot to talk about that.
I was very pleased to see that they're actually not going to stop here, and they are going to continue following Jaime in these short bursts of minis, which is kind of cool. Maybe
kind of like a seasonal format.
Kind of like the seasonal thing in Scarab War. So that sounds very cool. I'm excited to read that book. This kind of set that up in a big way. Introduced a gold beetle, if I'm not mistaken, and a green beetle.
So, Nick, you're going to have to specify a little bit because you said claim blue beetle, but all the books are blue beetle. So we kind of need a little bit more specification.
So I have issue 1, a second print for $10, issue 0 for $8, and graduation day 1. So
yeah, whatever you type up, we'll mark it down as sold. And behind this door, we have Jaime right now.
We just have the actor here.
Blue Beetle #1 black cover. So he's asking for the first series.
Cool.
Okay. Blue Beetle #1.
Wait, which black cover?
This.
Okay.
Yep. Is Green Lantern Crisis crossover?
Yes. So this one, the for $10, just clarifying. Yeah, this is the first series that spun out of his appearance in Infinite Crisis.
Yep. Yep, it is. Okay. Awesome. But yeah, I'm excited for the show, for the movie. I mean,
I'm gonna toss these back up here. It's coming out in August, is that right?
Yeah, it's coming out soon. We also have Guardians next week, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, we gotta buy tickets soon.
Yeah. Either you or I can get tickets tonight. We'll go Thursday.
Yeah.
With Mike.
But yeah. Water. Anyone excited for Guardians? It should be fun.
Okay, it will sound good.
I'm pretty hyped for it. I'm actually really excited to see where James Gunn ends the story.
Yeah, if you guys are interested after this first break, we can pull up some kind of good introductory Guardians books, because I definitely have some of those around.
So Nick is asking about the Green Lantern that is on the rack.
So yeah, this Green Lantern is the first appearance of the Omega Men, which is an obscure DC team. So this is Green Lantern.
So right up James Gunn's alley.
Right up James Gunn's alley. I would love an Omega Men show. Please do it. This is a very fine plus copy of Green Lantern 141 for $30, $30. First appearance, Omega Men.
So question-wise, what core do you think you would be part of? If you were forced to take a ring, what core do you think?
I'm gonna go Indigo.
I can definitely see that.
I'm gonna go Indigo.
Sympathy,
compassion.
Well, like it's safe.
Yeah, I was just saying exactly what they say on paper.
Yeah.
That core is
Indigo.
compassion.
I would be the ring pop core. Brightest day and blackest night. I will eat my candy. That's all right. I don't know
if that's all right.
In brightest day and darkest night, no carbohydrate shall escape my sight.
There you go. Yeah.
Cool.
We're gonna put the Green Lantern back.
Good.
But I think personally I would probably be. I think maybe red. I think I would be like so angry.
Red is like a really cool, like, I mean, they made a whole book just on the Red Lantern Corps because there's a lot of cool stories to tell there.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I was going through my collection this week and I found that I had a Red Lantern Corps annual.
Oh,
and
really?
It's the whole issue is just them killing each other. Like it's just complete madness. It's chaos.
You know, if they take off their ring, they die, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So their blood actually becomes acidic when they put on the Red Lantern ring.
Wow.
And it actually stops their heart, like when you put it on. So if they take it off, they just die immediately.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which was why it was a huge thing when Guy Gardner put it on and Supergirl put it on, and both of them were able to just keep living after.
Because they were like, off, you're saying?
Yeah, they were able to take it off and like someone resuscitated them.
Huh.
Okay, we'll see you,
All right,
Nick.
See you next time.
But yeah, what other comics do we have lined up?
So I'm gonna toss the static back up.
Feel free, anyone, to claim the statics if you guys want it to have an electrifying good time.
Speaking of comic media, I have
Miss
Miss
Marvel.
Marvel #1. This is Carol Danvers' first solo series as Miss Marvel before she was Captain Marvel. This is Miss Marvel. This is a good / very good copy of #1 for only $15.
$15. I mean, that's honestly pretty much a steal at this point. So.
That's a steal.
Real talk, I'd be part Red Lantern, part Orange Lantern, part Black Lantern, a therapist's dream. So does that mean that you're part zombie at that point? Like, what does that entail? Are you like half resurrected, half alive, half dead?
I think the next event we have to review is Blackest Night if we get a chance.
Yeah, we've just
on our channel the Cosmic Panel. That's Lucas and I's comic book YouTube channel. We've been doing this thing called Cosmic Calamities, which is event reviews.
Yeah,
there's been so many events from comics recently that we haven't had time to do like a retrospective one.
Yeah,
but I think Blackest Night is what I'm really just craving to reread.
Yeah,
and delve back into because
Preston will claim the Miss Marvel. Preston, thank you very much.
Great find, Preston.
But yeah, no, I want to reread AVX.
Yeah, AVX also.
AVX, honestly, one of the best minis I ever read. So I was very happy with that. But yeah, no, such a top-notch book. Unironically, but yeah, Blackest Night. We would have to also read the ending. I think it's like the 12-issue follow-up too, because that is legitimately part of the event. The Blackest Day, Brightest.
Blackest Night, Brightest Day.
Yeah, because that's like they work in tandem,
right? And
they're talking about like the people that are resurrected after that.
Yeah,
like Aquaman's resurrected and a bunch of other characters.
Yeah,
it was a really good event. Really top notch.
So the Marvels movie is coming out. Is that this year?
I think it got pushed a little bit, but I think it's happening in like September.
Okay, so it's still happening this year. Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel and Monica Rambeau will all be joining the screen together. So I have another book highlighting the actual original Captain Marvel. This is Genusville. This is Captain Marvel #5. $18 for a very good copy. I think that's what that says. What is S?
It means super.
$18. Captain Marvel #5. This is one of the original books right here. Genusville. I really like this suit. This is kind of his classic Kree suit, the green and white. I've always been a fan of that suit myself. Peter David, I believe, returned to it in a way in his run.
Did you like the Kree suits in the Captain Marvel film? Just curious. The green and like dark blue.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was okay. I think I was more disappointed about Ronan's design because he was just pure.
He was barely there.
He was black armor instead of the green and white.
Ronan should have been honestly more of a character in that movie.
Yeah, I think in Phase 4 they're less afraid of having actual comic-based costumes. So I think we could see this in the new Marvels show.
It would be sick. But yeah, no, I'm very excited. It's a movie, not a show.
Movie, sorry.
But yeah, I mean, Monica Rambeau's miniseries just wrapped up, and it was a miniseries. It was.
It's one of my mom's favorite characters, so I'm considering getting a whole run for her birthday. But she doesn't know like about
Beyonders,
like
and
the Beyonders stuff
and
all that
all.
stuff.
Yeah,
So
they didn't really explain
maybe-
why she
maybe-
was able to just.
maybe she'll enjoy it from more.
They didn't even explain how she was able to alter reality or anything.
When did he send that? Just now.
Okay, let's take a break.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today. Comic Collectibles is a pretty straightforward show. You got Rex here, he sells the comics, and you got Rockin' Robbie, he knows about the comics. And finally, John, well, no one really knows what John does. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great guy, but he just keeps showing up. Come to think of it, I don't even really know how he gets in here. Anyway, awesome comics, rare books, rarer signatures, slabbed books, and amazing cover sketches by Ken Hazer and others. Simple formula, you want the comics, you buy the comics. To sum up, Rex sells the comics, Robbie knows the comics, and John, who might possibly be a ghost. I mean, seriously, has anyone ever seen him show up or leave? Comic Collectibles with Rex and John, Mondays from 6 to 8 Eastern on The Experience. Comic Culture and Sales.
You know how when you go to Comic-Con, after Comic-Con, you go to the hotel bar, and there's a whole bunch of people playing music and dancing, and you've got Pikachu and Lara Croft Tomb Raider doing the cha-cha slide just down from Deadpool and Batman and Wonder Woman? That's every Saturday night over on the Experience Twitch channel. Join Taji Beats for the EXP Dance Party, exclusively on Twitch, twitch.tv/the_EXP.
Hey everybody, we're back. So just showed off the Captain Marvel issue 5 for 18. So we can kind of go a little more into the cosmic side of the MCU. Some more recent Guardians books that might interest you if you want to kind of get in at the ground level into Guardians and the modern Guardians, of course. I have Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. This is a one-shot that they did for $4.50.
Promoting the Disney ride.
Promoting the new Disney ride.
Which I don't even know if that was any good.
Yeah, I haven't been since they've added this ride to the park, but I hear it's good. I hear it's a lot of fun.
I personally hate Disney World, but that's just a me thing.
I only went once for my 10th birthday, and that was it.
Would you ever think of going back? Maybe.
in defiance of Disney, maybe not, but like as a brand, maybe. But
fair.
Yeah. So Cosmic Rewind.
Yeah. We also have other Guardians of the Galaxy books.
Just gonna shift these over a little bit.
What would you say is your favorite Guardians of the Galaxy member? Just curious. I think it has to be
Of modern or like
no,
just in general?
Any member. I think it has to be what's his name,
Vance Astro.
Vance Astro.
Yeah, Vance Astro is very cool.
I think he's one of the coolest, especially with Cap's like cryogenically frozen shield.
I love the Guardians 3000. They did a more recent Guardians 3000 series that I really enjoyed. Alex Ross did all the covers.
Oh, really?
To try and get people back into the old Guardians because, of course, those Guardians were first. Vance Astro, Starhawk, Charlie 27, Martin X, all those guys, Nikki.
When's the last time you even saw Charlie 27?
In the books?
Yeah.
It might have been the 100th anniversary Guardians special. I was going back through those. When they had the 75th anniversary of Marvel Comics, they did a 100th anniversary special for Guardians and FF and X-Men, all those guys. And the team featured Charlie 27. They didn't explain how he was back and alive, but he was there.
Yeah. But anyway.
So this is Guardians of the Galaxy Annual #1. This is from Donny Cates' run on the book. But this features short stories from Donny, Al Ewing, and Tini Howard.
Darkhawk is on the cover.
Yeah, we got Darkhawk, Nova, Warlock, Quasar, and of course our favorite Cosmo.
Cosmo, is he Russian? Is that
he's a
Russian god.
Yeah.
So if he's telepathically talking, does he speak in Russian? Like, is that a thing?
Yeah, I think so. He can probably translate his thoughts though.
Probably. That would make sense. Cosmo recently appeared in the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special as a more than just a single cameo thing. Yeah. So it was kind of fun to see him.
It's nice that he's more of a mainstay of the Guardians team now. He's a fun extension for sure.
I wonder what's going to happen to that planet that they kind of set up on.
Yeah.
Because the Guardians are going to have to leave it.
Right. So this is annual #1 for $5.50. $5.50. This is a fun way to enjoy the modern Guardians or get into them if you haven't read them before.
Yeah. Next up, we have Star-Lord, the miniseries.
I have 1 through 5 of this Star-Lord series here. This is, I believe, from the Marvel Now era.
Yeah, so 2016 around.
So this was written by Sam Humphries and drawn by Javier Garron. I have issue 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They are all $4.50.
So yeah.
Features Star-Lord here in an astronaut suit.
I really like that cover, honestly. That cover is pretty sick.
Very fun cover. I do enjoy it a lot.
I wonder. So he was originally an astronaut now, right? Is that still canon that he was an astronaut, or have they completely changed it so that it fit more into the MCU?
That's a good question. I don't know when they last retold his origin.
Because that's the thing. Like, did Yondu capture him in this universe? Like, we still haven't seen Yondu in years in the comics.
Well, they did the Yondu mini.
Oh, they did a Yondu?
I never read it, but they did a mini more recently. Yeah.
Is he alive in the Marvel Comics 616 universe? Do you know?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe he's currently still alive. Yeah, so I didn't even mention Yondu. Yondu was a part of the Guardians 3000, part of the original Guardians
How
team.
did he live that long?
So now he's just an old man now in our main timeline.
I was going to say, I was like, how do you live up to 30,000?
Yeah. But Yondu, so of course he died in the second Guardians movie, but they, I believe, showed Starhawk, who was played by
Sylvester
Stallone at the end of Guardians 2.
They had all the OG Guardians, the original Guardians. It was Sylvester Stallone as Starhawk. There was a man that was full of
CGI man as Martin X.
That was yeah. I'm trying to remember. It was like 5 different people. But yeah, it was just a homage to the original Guardians. So if you didn't really get it, that's fine. But I thought it was cool.
I think it would be very exciting if they continue to introduce the original Guardians into the movies. Then we can talk about those books more on the show, and I'll try and sell you guys those as well.
Yeah. How do you think they're going to balance the Adam Warlock and High Evolutionary?
Yeah, so
because those are like enough to be like their own villains in their own movies. So like,
right,
having both of them at the same time is kind of crazy.
I wouldn't say that Warlock is enough to make a full villain arc out of.
Yeah.
In the original comics, High Evolutionary did not create Adam Warlock.
Well, he's not even. He didn't even create Adam Warlock in this universe. It's what's.
Oh, they're not related.
Yeah, what's her name? From the Hive, or whatever. And the second one that was all gold, made Adam.
Oh, okay, that makes right. Oh, yeah. Oh, the
the ending was like
the gold species, right? From
yeah.
The second movie, yeah.
Was that Shi'ar? No.
No, some other probably made up.
Yeah.
Species.
Well, they're all made up. Lies. Everything's made up. We're not even real. This is actually AI generated. No.
Star-Lord Annual Issue 1 by Chip Zdarsky, $5.50.
I didn't realize he did a Guardians run.
He was just on Star-Lord, I believe.
Oh, he was just on Star-Lord?
Yeah, Chip, yeah.
Okay. Was this after Infinity Warps or before?
Before.
Before.
No,
okay.
I believe this was before. Star-Lord Annual number 1. But yeah, what were we saying?
I was just saying that I'm kind of surprised that Chip Zdarsky was writing anything with Guardians of the Galaxy. It doesn't really seem like his forte, quote unquote. Just because he's very street level most of the time.
Chip, I feel like Chip used to be a lot more of like the go-to comedic writer for
a
lot of books. Yeah, because he did the Howard book.
Oh, I didn't even realize he did that.
Yeah, he did the Howard the Duck book. So I think people kind of pinned him as more of a comedic writer for a while, and obviously now he's writing Daredevil, which is quite the opposite. But yeah.
And then next up, we have a Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon number 1. This is actually a 4th printing. This was a Scotty Young series. Everyone knows and loves him for his, baby variants that he does, the Marvel Baby universe. So Scotty Young's Rocket Raccoon number 1. This is a 4th printing. So definitely fewer of these were made. $4.50. Just $4.50. Scotty Young drew and wrote this book, if I'm not mistaken. And he just had a lot of fun with Rocket. This was following the first Guardians movie.
Definitely interesting art for Rocket, I feel like, for the cover. Is that the main artist on the cover
No, this isn't Scotty. This is a different artist on the cover.
Draws him very gremlin-like.
Yeah.
Rocket Raccoon, a.k.a. Rocket Gremlin. But yeah, no, I mean, sick. I mean, Rocket, obviously, Bradley Cooper is a great voice for Rocket.
Yeah, surprisingly, if somebody asked me who I wanted to play Rocket, I wouldn't say Bradley Cooper. That wouldn't be my first answer. But surprisingly, he really kills that role.
He, unironically, when he's playing Rocket, I can't hear Bradley Cooper at all. which I think is very interesting because, like, it's very funny because Vin Diesel's also playing Groot.
Right.
He's still playing it for this film too, right?
Which just makes no sense. Like,
yeah, to this day doesn't make sense. But
yeah.
I guess one day we'll understand why Vin Diesel was chosen. Anyway,
hopefully they'll do Groot Fall in the movies, and he'll have to be an evil, raging monster.
Anyway, you want to get into the weird stuff?
I think I want to go over the rest of the rack first.
Okay, let's just quickly go over it.
Yeah. Spider-Verse movie coming out this summer.
Yeah.
This is The Amazing Spider-Man issue 12, very fine near mint condition for $20. This is part 4 of the Spider-Verse story. This is sort of a pivotal issue for the Spider-Verse event. And it took place in the main Spider-Man, the main ASM book. So
yeah, it was an awesome little event. How'd you react the first time when you saw Superior Spider-Man was back?
I love the original Superior Spider-Man run, so
Same.
I'm very happy that they did this.
Did you
And
remember?
actually, that's how they ended the first Spider-Verse volume. Was
The
with
reveal?
the Spider-Verse tie-in, and then it was him versus who's the dude with the I keep forgetting, with the deep diver mask.
Oh yeah, I always forget his name too.
Some with a K, but
yeah. Car something.
yeah.
Carsus, I don't know. But yeah, he wears like a deep diver suit. He's sick. Hopefully he appears eventually in the Spider-Verse because that's such a cool design, honestly.
I'm suspecting that the end of the Spider-Verse movie will have the Inheritors actually show up. I think that they're gonna kind of have it be like Miguel is gonna think himself the person in the right, and is gonna put up a big fight with with the rest of the Spider variants, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be the Inheritors are gonna come out and cause a serious issue.
Yeah.
And then I think that's how it's gonna jump right into the next movie, because there's gonna be a very brief gap in between the two
and three.
the two movies, so that's very exciting to see.
If you need me to
But this features a lot of the Inheritors, and I'm just trying.
Yeah, if you want to search up something, just tell me.
Well, I'm just trying to remember why this is.
But yeah, this cover has all the Inheritors on it. So if you want to get introduced to them, right here with multiple heads mounted on their walls, including Miles Morales, Spider Monkey.
It was $20.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited. I really am excited for this Spider-Verse film.
Yeah,
I think it should be really fun.
It's gonna be great.
Okay, next up.
Let's see what else we got on the rack. Venom number 1, for $12.50. This was the first time that a certain gangster wore the symbiote suit. Didn't last a long time.
Yeah, luckily.
By any means, but the amount of hosts of the main Venom symbiote is, not a terribly
small
long
number.
list. So this is a kind of old Spider-Man character who came into possession of the symbiote, and Venom number 1 here for $12.50.
You know what would be a fun game?
This was a short arc, but definitely a good one to grab if you want to hop into Venom.
You know what would be a fun game? Which characters have not been bonded with a symbiote at some point?
That's a good one. We should definitely do that.
That would be interesting, because I honestly don't have. Maybe Hellcat. Maybe Hellcat is my first guess.
That's a good throw. Yeah.
If I was to throw anyone, I guess Hellcat never bonded with a symbiote. Mm-hmm. But what about you? What would be your first guess?
My first guess, maybe like Drax or something. Maybe someone more on the cosmic level.
I'm pretty sure he has been, though. Like during the Venomverse event. Pretty sure he was with the Guardians, and the Guardians were there. You're that, or he got possessed by the Clintar planet.
Well, but that's the thing, is I don't think they touched the rest of the Guardians. I think they just were focused on Flash, which is why that's such a cool event. But
yeah. Anyway,
so Venom number 1, $12.50.
Moving on. What do we have next?
Next up, I have Secret Avengers number 1, near mint condition, for $5. This is a very, very cool team. This is an Ed Brubaker book with Mike Deodato on the pencils. This was Moon Knight, Nova, Valkyrie, Black Widow, Steve Rogers, not Captain America, Steve Rogers, War Machine, and Beast all on a team together.
Yeah.
In the Secret Avengers.
Was this the first time or second time that Moon Knight was on a team? on an Avengers team.
I think this is his first time on an Avengers team.
So
he's been with the Defenders before, if
Yes.
I'm not mistaken. So this is after that. But this is his first time on the Avengers, which for him is a pretty big deal.
yeah, definitely. He's such a cool character. I love Moon Knight.
And it's cool to see him, on a team. Depending on what headspace he's in, he may or may not be an amazing team player, but
or an awful one.
Yeah.
Really depends on the day, whether he woke up on the right side or left side of the bed.
Right. But Secret Avengers was a very cool team. This ended up being a pretty long run.
How many issues did it last? Like 30 plus?
At least, at least.
What would you say is an average run length?
An average run length? Or do you mean a good run length or like an average?
Yeah, a good run length and then an average.
A good run length, I feel like, can be maybe like 25 issues.
Okay.
It allows for like a lot of arcs and maybe a conclusion, but doesn't overstay its welcome.
Okay.
With a writer like someone like Al Ewing, you can have 50 issues and there not feel like there's downtime.
Yeah, exactly.
So
True.
50, I would like to say, but I don't think everyone can actually hit 50
that's not that
confidently
norm.
without treading water somewhere in there.
I think personally,
50 is tough.
15 or like 20 maybe.
Word.
At least for the average writer. Now, if we're talking about Ewing or Hickman, just give them as many issues as they want.
Exactly.
There's no worry about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, continuing on.
So the reason we're talking about Secret Avengers is because I have the first appearance of Mr. Knight.
Yes.
Right here. This is Secret Avengers number 19. The first appearance of Mr. Knight right here for $10.
Yeah.
Of course, as all you know, Mr. Knight has shown his face in the Moon Knight show on Disney Plus.
Yeah. You and me have talked about this at length, but I actually kind of like the change between Steven and Mark kind of having different costumes.
Versions of Moon Knight. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I didn't dislike it. Usually I'm a little more hesitant when it comes to my favorite characters getting their origins rewritten.
Yeah,
whatever that might be. But
I also kind of like Steven being like what Mark could have been if he had a good life was also really interesting, because it's like it really takes the Mark character in a very interesting place. Like, instead of it just being Mark, but if he was rich, which I feel like is what Steven is in the comics most of the time.
Right.
Which I mean, I don't mind it, but it's just like it gave it more nuance, in my opinion.
Yeah. So this is the first time he puts on this suit. There's not an actual altar for Mr. Knight in this book, but this is the first time that he was considered Mr. Knight.
Yeah.
Moon Knight season 2 is hopefully coming soon. So this book, I suspect, will begin to shoot up once again when they announce more season 2 details. Obviously, we'll be seeing Mr. Knight in that season, though. So this is definitely something worth grabbing before season 2 comes out.
What do you think Jake Lockley's version of the Moon Knight suit is going to look like?
If we're
going by that rule,
what
would it be? Just like the crazy, like literally just rags, like it looks like a psychiatric, like almost like the Jeff Lemire style, where it's like a psychiatric and there's like a blood red moon.
Well, or the one where it's just like the Khonshu mask, where it's like the bird skull. Do you know that one from the Marvel Now run?
Yeah, the one where it's like he uses it to punch ghosts.
Rag, yes, exactly. The ghost.
he's like, I need to punch ghosts. Let me put on my bird skeleton costume.
That would be perfect, because I think they need to continue to dive into the supernatural stuff with Moon Knight with that show. So that could be a really.
I do want it to be a little bit more street level, to be honest, though. Not gonna lie, like I want at least the first episode to be like street level.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it can kind of crescendo.
It should balance between. It shouldn't just be like end of the world stuff.
Yeah.
Not every movie or show has to be the end of the world. that is a major lesson, Marvel and DC.
Yeah, I don't know.
Please learn that.
I don't know if they'll ever learn that.
Also, no more blue beams in the sky, or any beams of any colors shooting up into the sky, please, specifically. But yeah, moving on. What's our next idea for what we're pulling?
Let's see. I think I'm gonna go back into my box here. I'm gonna jump to a big ticket item because I feel like it.
Okay. We have,
just so everyone knows that this is here for the rest of the show and in general, because we have a few of these. Spider-Man #1, signed by Todd McFarlane himself. This is a big ticket item for $80. This book is in excellent shape, near mint, I would say. Signed by Todd McFarlane right there. If you can see that.
Yeah.
His silver Sharpie right there.
If you like Todd McFarlane, this is probably a guaranteed steal.
Yep. We're pricing this at a very fair price point versus what you might see it online for. So, and again, we have a few of these. So if you're interested, $80, Spider-Man #1, signed by Todd McFarlane.
But yeah, Todd McFarlane is one of those people that blew up drawing Spider-Man and kind of just kept going up from there.
Yeah.
He's did he ever write for Spider-Man?
He might be a polarizing artist, but for me, I really enjoy him.
I like the way he draws Spidey swinging, specifically.
Yeah. And I always liked his webs.
Yeah, his webs are probably
we
the best part.
We got to talk about his webbing. His webbing is legit.
Yeah.
So $80 for Spider-Man #1. Sorry, what were you saying?
Signed by Todd McFarlane. No, I wasn't. I was just agreeing with you. Yeah, no. Todd McFarlane's cool. Did he ever write for Spider-Man? No, or he just draw?
No, I think he did write on this as well.
Oh, did he actually?
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
There's some Todd writing on there too.
How's everyone else doing in the chat? How's your days going? Anybody having a nice time?
Hope everyone's having a beautiful day.
Yeah, hope everyone's enjoying the weather outside. It's really, really sunshine and rainbows today.
So, some more Spider-Man related stuff. Spider-Man Noir #1.
Yeah.
More recent limited series by Margaret Stoll and Juan Ferreira for $5.50.
I have less bronchitis than I did last week, but not no bronchitis. Yeah. That sucks. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty bad. I hope you don't have bronchitis soon. I guess is
much longer.
Much longer. Yeah, I guess that's the proper term for it. But yeah, Spider-Man Noir.
So maybe he shows up in passing in this new Spider-Verse movie. But this is a really fun expanding of the Spider-Man Noir universe.
Nick Cage has been lying to us all. He's the main villain of the movie. he's actually in the movie like 90% of the runtime.
Yeah, that'd be great. But yeah, Spider-Man Noir #1 for $5.50. This is a really great way to get into Spider-Man Noir, I would say. His original books, were from more like the early 2000s when they were doing all the Marvel Noir stuff. There was X-Men Noir.
There's Vulture. Vulture that kills his.
Yeah, the original Spider-Man Noir story is very brutal. But it's very cool.
And also Hammerhead too. Hammerhead was the one that sent Vulture, right, or something like that.
Yeah, it's more Maggia focused because it's very crime heavy. Yeah.
What did my first introduction to Spider-Man Noir was honestly Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. That was definitely my first introduction because you could play as him, but the one downside of him was that he couldn't wall crawl.
Oh, okay.
That was like his thing was that he couldn't wall crawl.
I still have to play that game. I've heard so many good things about it. I don't know what consoles it's on.
I played it on DS at the time, so.
Word.
I mean, you could definitely find it on an emulator, but it's really fun because you get to play between Ultimate Universe Spider-Man, Noir Spider-Man, 2099 Spider-Man, and then 616 Universe Spider-Man.
Right.
So it's pretty sick. Personally, for me, 2099 was unironically probably quote unquote most boring out of the 4.
Mhm.
I don't know. I found it pretty lackluster at times.
Or
But yeah, that's Spider-Man Noir #1.
I'm gonna put that in front of the Edge of Spider-Verse Spider-Man Noir book as well. So I did a few of these last week, but also I didn't have issue 6 of Spider-Man. So this is for 550, End of the Spider-Verse Part 6, Spider-Man #6.
Yeah.
Which led right into, of course, the Spider-Boy reveal. We're gonna get more story on his Edge of Spider-Verse issue that's coming out soon. Issue 1 of Edge of Spider-Verse comes out this coming Wednesday. We'll have those at the shop, and then issue 3 is the one that's going to feature him, Spider-Boy himself. So
Yeah.
just issue 6 of Spider-Man.
You know, I've kind of realized that like people kind of like pre-paste a bunch of #1s to fall like the weeks before Free Comic Book Day, so that on Free Comic Book Day their #1s are there.
Yeah, that's
like Green Arrow, Guardians,
right,
Hallows Eve, or maybe not Hallows Eve. Hallows Eve is already on it too. But like you get what I'm saying. Like it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
This keeps this
more. Yeah, I can still see the comments from over here, so it's okay.
Anyway, Spider-Man Spider's Shadow.
Spider's Shadow is a what if type story from Chip Zdarsky and Pasquale Ferry. I have 2 different covers, cover A and a variant, both for $5.50.
So you read it, right?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I never read it, but
you never did? Okay.
No, I never did. But give me your overall thoughts on it. Like, what are your ideas on it? It's
another take on Spidey's period with the symbiote suit.
Okay.
But I think it's my personal favorite. They've done some
Does it just pick up right from where he like the first time he gets it, and like when he's trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's the original bonding period. And instead of him giving it up and then Eddie Brock ending up with it, he keeps it. This is pretty dark story for sure.
Okay.
But I would love to see this kind of story adapted in the What If animated show. They haven't done any Spider-Man What Ifs yet.
Yeah, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, like, pretty surprising.
What if Aunt May was bitten by the spider?
Yeah, exactly.
What if Ned was bitten by the spider? That's the real question.
We need some stuff like that on the What If show.
The CEO. We need the CEO on Disney.
They haven't they haven't done a lot of What If Spidey stuff yet, so this would be nice to see.
Yeah, they just gave him the cape in the Marvel Zombies.
Yeah, they just gave him Doctor Strange's cape. Cloak of Levitation.
Yeah, Cloak of Levitation.
I believe What If Season 2 is coming this year, right?
I don't know. Honestly, everything's kind of been pushed back because of like how badly received Phase 4 was.
Yeah. So
honestly,
hopefully that means it's going to be better.
Unironically, depending on how Guardians does, if it does amazing, Marvel's fine. If it doesn't do well, people are going to like, which I expect it to do well. It's the 3rd film in the franchise. Like, long committed fans of the series are going to want to see how it ends, especially with like characters like Rocket and Star-Lord being threatened to die. So
right. So yeah, Spider's Shadow, really cool. Spider-Man symbiote What If story. Definitely a big recommend for me. I would say I have some more What If stuff too. If people are interested, I can bring those out a little later.
Yeah. And if you guys have any specific books you are looking for at all, I mean, we're always down to look in the back and check them out. See
we can always have them here next week. Next up, I have Spider-Man Unlimited #1. This is a near mint copy for $8. #1 is Spider-Man Unlimited. This is actually volume 3 of Spider-Man Unlimited. They had some earlier ones.
So what exactly is this?
So
I never read
Unlimited was basically just another Spidey book for artists to stretch their legs on.
Okay.
There's been countless Spidey books that are like this, where it's just like, hey, they probably come to the meeting where they're like, hey, I have a Spidey story idea, and then they most times greenlight it anyway, but probably won't put it under the main ASM book.
Yeah.
So instead, they have another series like this, Spider-Man Unlimited. So yeah, this is a fun one.
I always think it was just a TV show whenever I hear Spider-Man Unlimited.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy he's going to be in Spider-Verse.
Very exciting.
They also kept the cell shading for him too.
Yeah.
Like the black circle inside his red mask.
That's
like
great.
So good.
That's fantastic.
But
yeah, Spider-Man Unlimited #1 for $8.
I also love the Green Goblin design in that universe.
Yeah.
I think I showed it to you once, right? The Green Goblin.
Yes, I do know. Yeah.
And he's like a hero. He's not even an anti-villain or anything like that.
Yeah.
All the villains are heroes and vice versa.
Right.
On Counter-Earth, as they like to call it. But yeah, Spider-Man Unlimited #1. Next up, we have a couple Spider-Verses.
So this is the Spider-Verse series. We're going to have so many Spider-Verse volumes now, which is not something I thought I would say.
Yeah,
between
really.
Spider-Verse and Spider-Geddon. But this one is from the Secret Wars event. This was a tie-in, a side book. I have issue 1 here for $7.50. Spider-Verse #1. This one's featuring a select cast of the Spider-Verse characters. So Peter Porker Spider-Ham, Anya Corazon, Spider-Girl, Spider-UK, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Gwen, and Spider-Man India.
Yep.
Spider-Verse #1 for $7.50. Can never have too much Spider-Verse action.
Really?
So, when this Secret Wars event came out, I took it upon myself to buy and spend my money on way too many of the tie-ins, and this was one of them. It's a fun standalone story, nothing too crazy, but it's a fun way to get into some Spider variant characters.
I still think Renew Your Vows is the single best spinoff to come out of that.
Entire
Secret Wars was Renew Your Vows because
I think that's probably most people's answer.
Because it's just so good. It's
yeah.
just so good. And then they did the time skip and that.
Yeah.
People can't let people
Peter
just stay young. Yeah, or Peter stay young.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking more about like John Kent and
right.
May, just like all of them just always being aged up after a certain point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So Spider-Man India is actually going to have his own mini very soon. I believe #1 comes out in June, which is very surprising. June's going to have a lot of multiverse Spider-Man stuff running at the same time. There's going to be Spider-Man India, the main Spider-Man book. There's, I think, Venomverse coming out. There's going to be the end of the Spider-Gwen current series. So lots of multiverse shenanigans with the Spideys.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
But how would you react if Spider-Verse is actually bad?
I would just
if like the second
cry.
movie is just like actually just straight up awful.
Yeah.
I think I'll just break down and cry.
Yeah, I would just cry.
I'll just curl up into a fetal position after the film and just bawl my eyes out. It's like the single worst film we've ever watched. Like my eyes are like permanently scarred from the film. It's just a single. They have like little Post-its and they have like sticks, popsicle sticks glued to them, and they're just moving the characters.
Yeah,
and
all the trailers are just clickbait.
Yeah, all the trailers are like that's all they worked on. Everything else is just them moving the popsicle sticks with little characters and being like, yeah, get this, fight. And it's like, and it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes of just that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Fantastic. Next up, I have Spider-Verse 3. This is from the 6-issue mini, not to be confused with the other Spider-Verse volumes.
Of course, how could you confuse any of the Spider-Verse volumes amongst each other? It's not like they're all titled Spider-Verse.
Of course.
Of course.
They're not all in the same 5-year span.
Yeah.
So this story is actually by Jed McKay and Dyke Ruan on art.
I didn't realize you wrote this. What?
Yeah, this is a very cool story featuring Miles and the Spider armor. SP//DR.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
So this is a very fun story featuring Spider. Spider's first appearance was
Edge of Spider-Verse.
Edge of Spider-Verse #5. I have that, and I'm happy I have that because I'm still salty that I never got the first printing of Spider-Gwen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have the 4th printing.
Damn.
But it's signed by Jason Latour, so hopefully that brings up the value a little bit. But it is the 4th printing.
I mean, I love the art for Spider-1. The art is
Spider-Gwen
awesome.
is
That
awesome.
original series. I kind of wish that artist would come back and do more.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spider. I will say, were you a fan of how they treated Spider in Spider-Verse?
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it too, but I definitely
definitely wanted to be kiddie about it, which I wasn't expecting. But.
Yeah, I kind of like the Evangelion-esque style to this.
Yeah.
More because it makes it seem a little bit more serious.
This is a very serious story, and
this is a serious story. Serious character.
Serious book, you know.
But yeah, it's definitely more serious than her version in Spider-Verse, which I mean, it's fine, nothing crazy, but we definitely love this.
Yeah.
So breaking a.
So, wait, yeah, that's been 5 minutes.
So,
all right, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Watch out for this. You can say 5 minutes, right?
Oh, we're still on. But
I'm just gonna prop this up here.
what else do you have there? Spider-Man 2.
I'm gonna go until the break hits.
Yeah.
That was at 5:55. So.
Yep. So whenever the break hits, we'll go into break,
and then we'll be back. I'm just gonna wait for that. I got some more Spider-Man stuff. Spider-Verse related stuff.
we're just waiting for it.
So
first up, Spider-Man 2, the movie tie-in.
There's an official comic book adaptation.
I got a phone call. Just do this stack and then we'll take a break.
Okay. All good. Spider-Man 2 official comic adaptation for $10. This is a book I didn't know existed until I went into the catacombs of Fat Jack's.
Actually, did you know that there's a novel adaptation of Spider-Man trilogy?
No, I didn't.
And I read it. And in the second movie, in the beginning, there's a cut scene from the film that they never filmed, but in the book where Peter is fighting. Novel? No, it's an actual book. Okay. Like an actual book where he's fighting Tinkerer.
Okay.
He brings a giant mech suit all the way to Empire State.
Wow.
And Otto and Connor are going to class. And then the Tinkerer gets defeated, and then Peter shows up to class, and he's like, "Sorry, I'm late," et cetera, et cetera. And then like the whole movie starts from there.
Wow.
But yeah, no, the book is actually surprisingly good.
That's really fun.
They add like some key details, but they also like I read the first the first book, the actual novel for the first film.
Yeah. And
the scenes with Norman speaking was really, really intense.
Wow. Okay.
Because it would just be different like dialogues between himself.
No, I mean Willem Dafoe is a super captivating actor. So
one of the best. I still gotta watch Lighthouse.
Oh, you haven't seen Lighthouse either?
I've still never seen Lighthouse.
Oh, I
need to be in the right headspace for that film.
No, for sure. I mean, that's why I've been putting it off, I guess. But no, if you haven't seen it, then we definitely got to check that out.
You watched it, didn't you?
No, I never saw it.
Oh, you never saw it? Oh, yeah, it was Dee and Luke that watched it together.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's why I was like...
No, yeah, I forgot that I thought you saw it.
Nah, Dee and Luke saw it.
Right.
Dee and Luke are two of our friends. Anyway, the other two comics we have.
Last two in this stack are both Spider-Woman #1s from the more recent Pacheco Spider-Woman run. Both $5.50. Jessica Drew will hopefully be getting. Oh, she is getting some love in the Spider-Verse film.
Yeah.
So this is a good jumping on point for Spider-Woman right here. I have the main cover, and I also have this very cool variant.
Some people were getting angry, saying that wasn't Jessica Drew and yada yada, and it's like, get over it.
It's a version of Jessica Drew. The whole point is that it's the multiverse.
Exactly.
There's going to be every possible Spider character in that movie. So.
Yep. Indeed.
It's going to be all right, I promise.
You'll hold your hand throughout it all. Anyway.
So that's the end of that stack.
Let's get a break.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Why was Princess Zelda sad after watching a bunch of YouTube videos? She couldn't find the link in the description. We'll stop if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's super easy. Click subscribe and click the bell when you do. And thanks for supporting the EXP.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Go follow The Experience on TikTok at @the_EXP1 or scan the QR code on the screen. Our TikTok is like everywhere else we are, except you only have to deal with us for a minute. Seems like a win-win to me.
Hey everybody, back at it once again.
the pause.
I'm gonna put these books up on the rack, and then we can move into some new different stuff.
Yeah. Racks on racks on racks.
Racks on racks and racks, as they say.
As the older generation likes to say, racks on racks on racks.
Of course.
back in my day, racks on racks had meaning. Now it's lost all meaning now. Yeah, we got some classics and some weird ones and some fun ones. So let's go right into it with Adventures of Superman. What issue is this?
This is Adventures of Superman, issue 463. Very fine quality for $15.
Superman and Flash racing off against each other.
Talk about a little bit about this book, Lucas.
So Superman and Flash are are one of those race. The Superman Flash race is a pivotal part of both characters' history. I think they've raced a total of 5 times, but every time it's always been either a tie or Superman wins or Flash wins. One of my favorite moments ever in Flash history was when in Grant Morrison's, or not Grant Morrison's, Flash Reborn. I'm forgetting the
Flash Reborn.
Yeah, it was the book when Barry Allen came back.
Okay.
Basically, Superman was saying like, "Hey, I'm going to catch up to you. Like, you can't outrun me." And Barry literally says, "Clark, that was for charity," and he just blitzes away, like literally, like faster than Superman can react.
Yeah.
And it was just so cool because it was like he literally just looked at him and just said, "That was for charity." like, wow.
Psyche thought.
Yeah, no, seriously. So yeah, I don't know who wins this race, so buy it to find out.
Yeah. Just $15 for this one. So,
I mean, hey, they even adapted it into the Superman animated show. So,
yep. This is a very fun part of comic history in general. It's one of the biggest debates that you'll see in comic history. You know,
Flash wins. Flash wins. That's the easy gist of it, is that Flash wins, and anyone that disagrees, you're wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. But yeah, $15. I mean, one of only five or so races that have happened. So not that common. I'm kind of surprised they haven't done a recent race. And
yeah, that'd be fun. They should do that soon.
the last time we even had like anything related was when Wally and Barry were racing, and Superman tried to enter into the thing, and he literally both got like sucker punched by both of them out of the race. It was so funny. Because it was like they were racing so fast they were actually like breaking the ground that they were running on. Like they were like threatening to cause a black hole or something. Because Barry was trying to catch up to Wally, and Wally was trying to break the time barrier to go back to Linda.
Wow.
And so Superman was like trying to break into. He was like, oh, I'll just hop in, and it's like, nope.
Wow.
Next up.
So, a couple more oldies here. Kind of random ones, but this is X-Men 89, very fine minus quality for $38. First appearance of this character, the Subhuman, Grotesque, for $38 right here.
I've never heard of the character. Has he been in any recent books?
Nope. He shows up here as the villain of the week and is shortly thereafter disposed of.
He is the villain of that week, and truly only that week.
Yep. X-Men number 89.
Man, X-Men love killing their villains, huh? What would you say is the pivotal X-Men villain? Like if you had to choose one.
Well,
you have to choose one.
It's hard to call Magneto a villain anymore, to be honest.
But that's kind of the point, though.
No, that's what I mean. Is he as much a villain as he is just a foil to Professor X? You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So I don't know if I would. That would be my answer because I think he's the most fleshed out, most well written antagonist for X-Men. But I have a hard time calling him a villain. You know. I
remember people discussing being like, if they brought Magneto, they were saying like, oh, we can't have him from World War II because that wouldn't make sense. And everyone was just like, we don't. That's like a pivotal part of his character. Like you can't remove that.
Yeah.
Like just say he like slowed down aging or something like that. Like he slowed down the metal in his blood or something like that.
Right.
That would be an easy way to fix that.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Next up, we have X-Men number 90.
After 89 comes 90. This is a very good copy of X-Men number 90 for $16, featuring the death of Professor X.
Yep. Iceman kind of looks a little bit like Lord Voldemort in this, which is kind of crazy because, I mean, I don't think he and Lord Voldemort is related in any way. So question I have. So before Bobby Drake learned how to properly use his ice powers, was that just a thin layer of ice that he used to put on his skin? Or did he just transform into ice?
Well, see,
because now we know that he can do it. He can fully transform.
Remember in his first, appearance when he was just a snowman?
Oh yeah.
So I don't know how they explained. I mean, maybe it's just the progression of his powers. He started off as slush and made his way up.
He slowly moved up to snow. Next, he's gonna be sleet.
Yeah, and then he eventually hit, the hard ice that he is now. So the X-Men 90 is actually a reprint of an older X-Men story. I believe it's 42. So that should be noted.
I really like it.
And it also features a second story by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko in the back from Strange Tales. So this is a unique book, but definitely a very cool collector's item for sure. So $16. Sorry, what were we going to say?
I was going to say, I really love the way the effects look for Iceman in the 2000 X-Men movies.
Yeah,
I think they looked really good. Also, this chair is bringing me down, so
I'm just standing. I gave up. Don't want to sit on that stool anymore.
Next up, we have Spawn, number 9.
This
really
is
early on.
First appearance of Angela right here. Very fine copy for $18. Spawn number 9. The first handful, like the first 10 or 12 issues of Spawn are all considered keys. But this one's obviously very special because it's the first appearance of Angela, who was later bought up by Marvel and made Thor's half-sister.
So why did they buy her?
I don't know why.
Like what does that like? That's such a weird decision,
Yeah, it's a very odd purchase.
Like it's not like they bought Spawn. Like if they bought Spawn, that would have made sense. But like they were just like, yeah, Angela.
We just want Angela.
Yeah, and then they made her Thor's sister, half sister. It was just like really strange.
I'm sure there's some business tact to it, where maybe she was cheap. And they were just like, yeah, let's write her in.
So that we can mess up their story.
She looks vaguely Asgardian.
Because she has wings on her head.
Yeah.
That's the sole reason.
But yeah, this is a fun little key. She hasn't been in any recent Marvel stories. I don't even know if they still have her license.
No, they still do. No, she was in the Thor run. She was in the most recent Thor run.
Was she?
Yes.
She dropped in or something?
She dropped in with with Thor's mother.
Okay. It's also,
with,
but
what's her name?
I get confused because Thor's has a baby sister now.
Yes, also that. It's very overall. It's very confusing and very convoluted.
It was
they didn't buy Angela
between Gaiman and McFarlane.
Oh wait, Neil Gaiman had rights over Angela?
Huh.
I actually didn't know that. Was that like a very he created the character and Tom McFarlane drew it, or how was it?
Interesting.
But yeah, first appearance of Angela.
I'm gonna pop this up here.
Yep.
I don't have any more room.
I mean, you could take some.
Another way to do this later.
How's everyone doing?
We're going to await his response.
Yes, I'm actually very interested in what Jason has to say. But yeah, because I do actually want to learn more about this because it is a very weird situation, just be caught in, where you have all of a sudden this character that had no ties at all to your continuity just suddenly pop in. Like how much of her is canon? How much of her is brand new? You bring so many questions with it.
Karn.
Ah, that was his name. Sorry, that was the name of the scuba diver. The guy that we were talking about.
Inheritor.
Inheritor. That we were talking about.
I just remembered. Yeah.
That was his name. That just popped into our heads.
Yeah.
Karn. He was super cool. He became a Weaver.
Yeah.
Was it Master Weaver?
Yeah.
Gaiman created the character for McFarlane's Spawn and then sued to get the rights back, which he then turned around and sold to Marvel.
Oh wow. Okay. So
That's actually wild.
he was full businessman in that.
I'm kind of surprised. Gaiman's usually like very much like a
stand-up.
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably because McFarlane probably did something with his character that he didn't like. Because Gaiman isn't the type to get angry on creatives for like doing stuff. So it must have been something like quote unquote serious for him to be like, yeah, no, you're not doing that with my character anymore.
Interesting.
Next up, we have some weird and wacky books that we thought
into some weird and wacky stuff.
Weird and wacky, as me and Elias like to call this hour, the weird and wacky.
Weird and wacky fun time hour.
Fun time hour, yes, indeed. That is now the name.
Let's round out this section with the what if stuff. Let's not start.
Someone said I like weird and wacky. Yep, so do us. So let's start out. I think we should start out strong with Milkman Man.
All right.
So this is from the pivotal and amazing DC event Milk Wars, where the evil organization Retcon is trying to retcon everything by making all of our favorite villains drink their mind-controlling, reality-altering milk. And one of the main villains in it is Milkman Man. Yes, it's Milkman Man.
Not just Milkman. Milkman Man.
But he is an archetype for Superman. He has all the powers of a Kryptonian, all the weaknesses of a Kryptonian. And yeah, he's basically the personification of an everyday man superhero. Except he's a serial psychopath that loves killing. So,
nice little
oopsie.
Caveat there.
But yes, this is the first appearance ever of Milkman Man.
Yep.
Say that 5 times fast.
This is Milk Wars Part 1, Justice League and Doom Patrol one shot for $4.50.
Yep. It's honestly a great run-in event because Gerard Way was actually writing at this point.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Young Animal was actually Gerard Way imprint that he kind of did with DC. So
he's asking about the Doom Patrol,
and Doom Patrol fights him. Yes, Doom Patrol actually fights him, which is kind of crazy. It's so nuts. It's such a weird because he technically has all the weaknesses of a Kryptonian. They can still fight him just like they would Superman, but it's just they have to also avoid him giving them milk. So that's the key part of the fight is that they gotta avoid him throwing jugs of milk and stuff at them. So I claim Milkman Man. I sold it. We sold Milkman Man.
All right.
Milkman Man for the win. Darth Gojira Comics.
Darth Gojira Comics.
Gojira. Okay, Milkman Man is yours. Honestly, such a funny character. I honestly love this run of Doom Patrol. It's so fun.
Yeah. Moving right on into Milk Wars Part 2. This is a Mother Panic and Batman book, one shot also for $4.50.
So this is the first appearance of Father Bruce, which is a Catholic priest version of Batman. Who loves to make his criminals pray to the milk gods. Unironically, yes, that is indeed a thing. It's quite difficult to see, but he is wearing a full priest costume. And this was a result of him drinking the reality-altering milk. So yeah, he also had a bunch of robins as part of his church. But yeah, he became a religious fanatic, and this was the actual Batman, the original Batman just transformed. So it isn't an alternate Milkman Man.
Yep.
So
this is Batman himself.
Yes, it's pretty wild.
Book of Batmanners. He's holding the Book of Batmanners.
Yeah. If you can't tell, he's he is obviously criticism on the Catholic Church. So it's a pretty fun little thing for Batman. Next up, Next up, we had Milk Wars #3 with the first appearance of Wonder Wife. Diana Prince drinks the milk and becomes Wonder Wife, a stereotypical 1950s housewife with superpowers who loves her husband, Steve Trevor. It is incredibly sexist, but on purpose. And she carries a magic vacuum also.
Yep.
That is indeed a thing that she does.
Yep.
So Wonder Wife, get it today.
Shay the Changing Girl and Wonder Woman 1, Milk Wars Part 3 for $4.50.
But yeah, Batman and Wonder Woman, both very interesting. Wonder Wife and Father Bruce, both very interesting counterparts for the mainline characters. Very, very weird, definitely. But yeah, Milkman Man, such a fun character. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep gushing about Milkman Man. But
so that's Part 3.
Yep.
Next up. Oh, wait, so he claimed that something.
Yep.
Aside.
Next up, we have
Part 4.
Yeah, Milk Wars Part 4, and it has this awesome cover of someone, the writer specifically, just trying to figure out what is the DC universe and how does this work. Please, someone help me. As they drink their cup of coffee.
Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye, and Swamp Thing 1, Milk Wars Part 4.
Yeah,
that's right. That's the name of an actual DC book.
But it's pretty fun because it's like poking fun at the average creative and how they have to kind of read up and figure out how everything works before they can jump onto a book. So this creative obviously had to jump into the deep multiverse lore, which is convoluted is putting it lightly. You guys take PayPal. I'm pretty sure I don't know, honestly. He will take the Cave
Carson.
He will take it. Okay. Just to reiterate, we also have Part 2 and Part 3 with Wonder Wife in the 1950s version of Wonder Woman that is a housewife, and Father Bruce, which is a priest version of Batman.
Yep.
Pretty awesome.
And, yeah, $5.50. On the last one because I said the last.
Okay. But yeah, next up we're going to be diving into.
I have to double check if we take PayPal or not, but
just the 2 is fine. Okay, perfect.
Cool.
Okay, next up, what do we have next? You introduced some weird and wacky.
We have a very unique Marvel event from the early 2000s, and that is Marvel Apes. That's right. Marvel but monkey.
Yes. So the main story of this is basically that Gibbon, who is a Spider-Man villain, right? Is that?
Yep.
That is well known for being part simian. Is told that he might be from a universe not from 616, but instead from a universe where everyone's simian. And so he travels to the universe, and he gets to encounter the entire thing, and we learn a bunch of interesting stuff. Like we learn basically that Sue Storm turned into an actual human because of her cosmic radiation. I remember Marvel Monkey.
That's funny.
Any Doctor Strange or retailer incentive covers of IDW Godzilla books.
That's so that's something that we can look into for next time. We're here the same time next week, so
yeah, I'll mark that down, and we can.
Yeah, he'll make a note of that, and we can look for that because I don't have any
right on us right now
on hand right now.
But we have a pretty huge catalog, so we have to kind of deep dive.
Yeah, but we'll take a look for that. If you can tune in next week, we'll gladly take a search.
Yeah. And if you guys always have any specific questions, we will take it, and then next week we'll try to have them on. But Sue Storm becomes a normal human. Everyone's basically simian related. Spider Monkey is a character, and he's just called Spider Monkey, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
Marvel Apes.
So yeah, this is the Marvel Apes one shot featuring Speedball. Just for $4.50, you can have this Marvel Apes one shot. $4.50 right here. Next up, I have the Amazing Spider Monkey one shot. This was also in the Marvel Apes universe. The Amazing Spider Monkey right here.
Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol.
Yeah, he will make a note of that as well.
Yep, we will put that on the list. Doom Patrol is one of those series that is just so much fun. No matter the writer, it's always just goofy fun that is honestly just designed to poke fun at the comic industry and everything at large, and it's honestly perfect. I kind of just love that. But yeah, we'll look into Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol to make sure if we have any issues, and we'll bring it on next time. Anyway, continuing. Yeah, of course, Darth. We want to obviously give you guys as many of our comics as we can, and anything that we can do that makes it a little bit easier for you guys to find comics that you enjoy is good for us.
Amazing Spider Monkey. Obviously, we were just talking about how he's going to be in the new Spider-Verse movie.
Of course, everyone's in the Spider-Verse movie.
Everybody's going to be there.
Even John Constantine himself is going to walk through a door smoking a cigarette into Spider-Verse.
Yep. So you can have the Amazing Spider Monkey one shot for just $10.
Yeah.
$10.
Me and Elias were talking about making a simian tier list of all the simian-based creatures, video game characters, and TV show mascots. And we were discussing that because that'd be pretty goofy and pretty fun. Because there's actually a surprising amount of characters. And like they vary very much. Like not all of them are goofy and not all of them are super serious either. So it's pretty fun.
Next up, I have Marvel Apes Grunt Line, making fun of the frontline tie-ins that you would have in most Marvel events. This is also a one shot for $4.50.
I kind of wish they brought back the frontline. When was the last time you had one?
They needed one. Well, they did it in Acts. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like they made it. I'm saying like they made it part of the main book where it was civilian level stuff.
Sure.
Because you really need that perspective for certain events.
Really do.
And so yeah, I mean, Kieran made it just part of the main.
Which is how it should be.
Which is great.
Honest.
Yeah. So that's good. Marvel Apes Grunt Line, one shot, $4.50.
Yep. Next up, I
have Marvel Apes Zero for $4.50. This is featuring a Santa Claus.
That is also
ape
a monkey
and reindeer.
So
I guess a Rudolph monkey.
I'm worried about confusing between the monkeys and the apes, solely because not to say all monkeys and apes look the same, but.
Did you have any other tidbits that you found about this stuff?
I read it yesterday. The Captain America in that book is actually fake. He's not Captain America. He's actually Baron Zemo.
Oh, wow.
The real Captain America is actually frozen still. And then they defrost him in like the 4th issue. And then he's like, what? He's just like really confused for like most of the rest of the book. It's just really funny that like no one double checked. Everyone just bought his story. It was like, yeah, this is Captain America. Totally. We believe him.
So I am now getting into the main Marvel Apes event, the main limited series. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Issue 1 right here featuring Iron Man, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Spider-Woman, Luke Cage, and Captain America. For $5, you can have number 1.
I'm going to pull up some of the names from the Marvel Apes line because some of the names are honestly hilarious.
Yeah.
So we have Ape Avengers.
These are the Ape Avengers.
Yes.
Yes.
So Captain America, who turned out to actually be Baron Blood in disguise.
Oh, Baron Blood.
Yes, sorry. My mistake. Baron Blood.
Wow.
I thought it was Baron Zemo, Baron Blood.
No, that's cool, though, actually.
Boomerangutan, which is an orangutan version of Boomerang. Growrilla, which is a gorilla version of Hank Pym.
Growrilla. Yeah.
Hawkape, a primate version of Hawkeye. Iron Mandrill, a mandrill version of Iron Man.
Iron Mandrill.
Juggermonk, which is a monkey version of Juggernaut. Do we have the Jurassic League mini-series? So we do have some, but we will have to check in the back for you. We can definitely have it checked next week.
Yeah.
We're going to add it to the list yet again. But yeah, no, that Jurassic League book is great.
Jurassic League is fantastic.
Daniel Warren Johnson's one of those artists that you have to just experience his art, like in paper.
Yeah.
Like it's just so good.
So yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna have another break. If we do, I would say I can like run back and grab them because those I actually would know where they are. But
yeah.
If we get another break, I'll try and grab those.
But I wanted to also give a couple more names. Miss Marvape, an ape version of Miss Marvel. Sandmonk, Sandman. Quicksilver is just called Quicksilver. I love that sometimes it's just the regular name. It's just no difference.
That's great.
Shang Chimp.
Shang Chimp, nice.
Spider Monkey, Thorangutan.
Thorangutan, yeah, nice.
Wonder Monk, which is Wonder Man. Beyonder is called Beyonder. There's a chimpanzee version of Beyonder, though.
Nice.
Cleok, which is a primate version of Clea. Black Widow Orangutan. They just put orangutan on the end of everything.
That's great. Yeah.
Dare Gorilla. Gorilla version of Daredevil. Invisible Simeon Torch, Thing, and Mr. Fantastic for the Fantastic Four.
There's your Fantastic Four.
Insidians for Inhumans. Ghost Rider is just Ghost Rider. Power Simeon is Power Man. Silver Simeon is Silver Surfer. And then we have the X-Apes as the X-Men, which is pretty sick.
So the rest of this stack, 2, 3, and 4 of the Marvel Apes are all 450 books.
I was wondering where the pen was. Well, as he took it. It's so funny.
Sorry. But yeah, so that's our Marvel Apes stack for you.
Yep, Marvel Apes. Get your monkey on, as the editorial definitely had as a quote.
Yep, that was the tagline.
That was the tagline. Get your monkey on. These are great, full of laughs. Yeah, we had some fun pulling these. Next up, we have some more interesting what ifs and weird and wacky books. What's the next batch?
Next for Weird and Wacky, I have the full mini-series of the Craptacular B-Sides.
So do tell me more about this.
The Craptacular B-Sides, I have issue 1 here for $4. Issue 2 and 3 are each $3.50. This is by David Marshall, and this is about a fictional town in New Jersey called Raven's Perch. Raven's Perch is apparently the small town in America that has the highest percentage of superhumans. No other small town has a higher percentage.
That's wild.
So this book features just 3 heroes: Jughandle, Mize, and Fateball.
Fateball.
And this character, Charlie Huckle, approaches them and says, hey, we should become the new hottest superhero team. So
So did they choose the name Craptacular B-Sides? Is that the name that they chose for this?
That's not the name that they landed on, but it sure is the name that editorial landed on. So Jug Handle is the son of Ravenstown, Ravens Perch Mayor. He has the ability to step sideways in time, creating a parallel time stream that he and other people can also step into.
Brain hurts. Sideways through time? This
means that they're invisible and cannot be touched by the outside world, but are still able to see the world around them. I guess it's like sort of like creating
parallel dimensions?
Another parallel dimension. Yeah.
Okay.
They can move through time.
Weird.
But it's not the real thing because
it's not the real timeline.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So we have that's Jug Handle. Next is Mize. Mize can accelerate the decay of systems, causing machinery to break down, materials to decay, create injuries and weaknesses in humans, and even destroy both relationships and the high school football team's winning streak.
What? How does her power do that? How does that work?
He has little or no control over his powers and often inadvertently breaks things nearby.
So wait, his power is just breaking stuff?
Accelerating time, accelerating the decay of stuff.
So how does
that's
he
a really cool?
Yeah,
really
but
cool
also how is he accelerating the decay of a winning streak? How does that work?
I guess because it's sort of a time manipulation ability.
So he's just the personification of the old Beach from the old movie with M. Night Shyamalan. He's just the personification of that movie come to life.
Yep, and the third and final character of the Craptacular B-Sides is Fate Ball, hand-to-hand combatant, but actually possesses no real powers. She just has a magic Fate Ball in her possession that just gives her an unlimited number of answers to any question she may have.
So she has a cell phone. So she has a phone. That is basically what you're telling me. She has a cell phone that she has Google on. Cool.
So to read up on these wacky characters, pick up issue 1 for $4, issue 2 for $3.50, and issue 3 for $3.50.
Awesome.
Very short series, but definitely a fun read.
Sweet and to the point. Honestly, sometimes series don't need to drag on to really get going.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take a break.
Comic Collectibles is here for you every Wednesday with AR Comics for two very important reasons: to sell you rare, one-of-a-kind comics that you'll love, and to confuse AR with old man talk. You see, Rex and John are, how should I put this, ancient as the roots of the mountains. So every week, Rex and John fill in AR in yet another area of pop culture that he missed because he's too young, just didn't have the time, or just really doesn't care about. It's a real public service they provide. Come buy some super rare and unique comics, while old men explain long-dead sci-fi shows to a younger man making that confused puppy face. Every Wednesday from 6 to 8 Eastern with Rex, John, and AR Comics. Comic Collectibles on The Experience. Comic culture and sales.
Do you remember what it was like when you were a little kid and you got a letter in the mail? Now imagine that letter was filled with information about your favorite shows, pop culture questions, links to things you're going to want to see later, and even sneak peeks at upcoming programming here on The Experience. That's what the EXP mailing list is. Every week, we send you sneak peeks, information, and all of the relevant links for all of the shows you want to see. Sign up now on our website or scan the QR code that's on your screen right now. Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message. with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form.
Hey,
Hey everybody,
we got Jurassic League.
back for our final stretch. We have Jurassic League.
We're only
Mr.
missing
Darth Gojira. So we have only a select few, but I mean we have most of the run. So
yeah, we're only missing issue number 1 really.
1 and 6. So
Yeah, so the beginning and the very end.
beginning and the end. So anyway, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have some variants of those. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna show them off to the camera, just so you can see them. Yeah, really fantastic series, drawn
Bizarro.
and written by Daniel Warren Johnson.
Bizarro Dinosaur Man. Whereas it's actually Superman, but
Bizarro.
wait, no, he's what is he called again? Superstar?
Super Soar is the
Okay.
Superman version, yeah.
So Bizarro Soar, or was he just called Bizarro?
Bizarro Soar, I believe. So
Interesting.
we have issue 2, 3, 4. All the cover A's are 450, so these are all the main covers so far. But I also have some variants. So here's one variant by Brett Booth and Andrew Dahlhaus for 550 instead of the 450.
Yeah.
Jurassic League 4.
It's a significantly more serious version of the Jurassic League.
Yeah, it's a more
Realistic.
hyper realistic kind
I
of
guess. But,
style.
Cool nonetheless.
Issue 5, main cover for 450.
I feel like Jurassic League could be an amazing short animated film.
Oh, easily.
Like, imagine that. Like,
That'd be fantastic.
you mean that can be Jurassic? Sorry, that was really bad. That was an awful pun. I had to say it though.
And then cover B is a variant by Jonathan Marks of issue 5 for 550.
Don't want to knock the computer.
I just bumped it. It wasn't going anywhere. So, yeah, we got those. So let us know if you want any of those. Darth Gojira. Daniel Warren Johnson's one of my favorite creators right now.
Yeah, you
period.
just read what was it, Murder Falcon?
I just read his series Murder Falcon, which was a blast. It's sort of, it's kinetic in the same way that Do a Power Bomb is, and it's ridiculous in the same way that Do a Power Bomb is, but it's music centric. It's music focused.
I don't do individual. How much for the whole stack? Give me a deal.
I mean, these are modern, like these like recently came out. I'm not sure that I can do much of a deal on them. That's kind of a tough ask. If I could find, like the whole run, or if you want like the trade, then I would say wait for the trade. If you don't do individual issues, because there's like a lot of, it's a 6-issue mini. It's, you know what I mean? But it's also more recent. So
yeah,
that's kind of tough.
We could at least do a deal, but since it's
These haven't been sitting here too long.
Yeah, it's only been like what, a year since Jurassic League.
So sorry, that's kind of tough for us to do.
Yeah, sorry.
But there's a trade coming out soon.
If you put the whole stack together and add up the prices, how much are they?
Let's see. Well, also, did you want just the main covers, Darth? Because if it's just main covers, then it's just 2, 3, 4, and 5, each at $4.50. If you wanted variants, that's obviously something else.
18. For tax.
$18.
Yep.
So 2, 3, 4, and 5 together would be $18 without not including tax, but just those 4 would be $18. So
And it's a good chunk of the story too. It's most of it just in one.
yeah. And again, the variants are $5.50 instead of $4.50.
They said they're good. No worries.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. Anyway, but yeah, I highly recommend reading it. It's really fun.
Very fun book.
Very, very fun book. It is 6:48.
So, to continue our weird and wacky escapade, we're going to pick out and talk about a few what if issues.
Yes.
So, from the original What If series, this is volume 1. I have a very good copy of What If number 6 for $5, just $5. This is what if the Fantastic Four had different superpowers.
This is a weird book. Actually, you know what? No, that's an understatement. This is definitely the epitome of the weird and wacky title. Because when they said they have different superpowers, they really mean it. So let me just go through the list. Ben becomes part dragon.
Wow.
He's able to fly, and he becomes this character called Dragonfly.
Oh, Dragonfly.
Reed becomes a literal big brain, like no body. Like he loses his his body. He's just a giant brain that can float, has telekinesis and telepathy.
Yeah. Sue
becomes Ultra Woman, which is basically Mr. Fantastic's power.
Uh-huh.
And then Johnny becomes Mandroid, which he gets a steel body, becomes basically mechanical, and gets magnetic powers and super strength.
Wow. So that's Johnny. That's Johnny. And that's Ben. And that's, Stretchy Sue.
Yeah.
And then Reed just out of his body, just a brain.
The book ends with him taking over Doctor Doom's body. They basically kill Doctor Doom, and Reed just plops himself into Doom's body.
Wow.
Just takes it over because he doesn't need it anymore. So,
Yep,
they erase Doom's brain, essentially killing the character, and then Reed is like, okay, cool. Now I got a mechanized Doctor Doom body to basically pilot. But the reason why he did that, most importantly, is because of love. Because Sue didn't want to date a big brain anymore. So she started having relations with Ben, who didn't really transform into an ugly pile of organs. So, a pretty interesting book that really kind of just goes out there in the what if scenario.
Yep. Again, What If Season 2 is coming soon, so we're hoping that there's just some more kind of radical, really out of there what if stories.
Then
obviously the FF haven't even been introduced yet.
Yeah.
So, but they will soon.
Hopefully, yep. But I wanted to say, what? Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that I wonder who would win, like the original FF or these guys. That's my real question, because they have a wider variety of powers.
Yeah.
I feel like Ben is probably the weakest because all he can do is fly. But Sue has basically all of Reed's powers. Reed is literally just he has telekinesis, telepathy, and can fly. And Johnny just has magnetic powers, steel body, and super strength. It's pretty out there.
Yeah. Hoping for. I feel like the What If first season was kind of tame, save for the Ultron Infinity Stone thing. But I mean, that's just leagues ahead of the rest of the series. So.
Okay. So this one is What If number 7. What if Wolverine became an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., a.k.a. The perfect Marvel timeline? I kid you not, everything that could go right goes right in this timeline. This is truly... This would have been the best timeline, unironically. So Wolverine, the issue ends with him becoming director, and this is exactly what they say. Ends up with him shutting down the production of Dr. Stephen Lang's Sentinels. Prevents the Dark Phoenix from emerging.
Wow.
He discredits Senator Robert Kelly completely. He defeats the Mutant Registration Act. And I quote, teaches the world, humans and mutants alike to live and let live.
Wow.
So this man just from this simple thing, basically just caused the best timeline to happen within the Marvel universe.
There you go. That's how just one, you prove how one little thing makes a world of difference.
It's kind of wild that he hasn't been a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, to be honest.
Yeah.
Darth Gajora says, what if Nick Fury fought World War II in outer space was my favorite?
Yeah, that's a classic. That's
I haven't heard about that one.
That's an early one. I just remember I have the cover in my head. It's an iconic cover.
Is it just him shooting like death lasers from above?
Yeah, he has this like really big bubble astronaut suit.
Of course.
And he's just blasting away.
Pew, pew, pew. But what if Wolverine? It's pretty interesting because like Wolverine's obviously been in the Weapons X program, and obviously he's been part of the government programs, like Canadian government specifically, which, as we all know, is a very evil government program, especially in comparison to the United States. But it's very funny to see him join S.H.I.E.L.D. and like everything just go right. Because it's like, yeah, just if Wolverine's in charge, yes, he is apparently the most calm-headed, level-headed person that just takes care of the entire business. Like, how did he prevent the Dark Phoenix from rising? Like,
yeah,
did he kill Jean? Did he, like, how did he do most of this stuff that they listed? Because they don't even show it. It's just literally like the ending 2 panels, and they just say it.
Wow.
And it's like, what? How did you accomplish this? What?
Yeah. So yeah, this is a very fine plus copy of What If #7 for just $6. And apparently, it looks like Rob Liefeld did the art on this cover.
Oh, really?
Liefeld and one
of Liefeld? I would say Liefeld.
I think it's Liefeld, yeah.
But yeah, Wolverine's a very fun character. Someone's trying to get.
So Darth Gajara said Nick Fury fights the Badoon instead of Nazis. That's fun. That's a lot of fun.
That sounds pretty wild. So wait, yeah. I don't know much about the Badoon. What is like their backstory?
I'm not recalling when they were first introduced. I can't recall much on them, honestly, but I just know that they're one of the first alien races that was introduced in Marvel.
Oh, really?
Liefeld said, yeah, Liefeld, I'm surprised there's hands and feet there.
So
yeah, this isn't as bulky as his usual work.
Yeah, seriously. So it says over here that this is immediately after his first battle. So he's loaned to S.H.I.E.L.D. Because they're about to possess LMD, S.H.I.E.L.D. LMD tech, life model decoy tech.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy because life model decoys, how long ago was that established? I
guess that's always been a S.H.I.E.L.D. trope, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Like,
because LMDs are the answer to all problems.
But yeah, so Fury dies, flying Ferrari into the river. And then at the funeral, Dum Dum goes, "Okay, I quit." And then Logan immediately becomes the director because he's the only one there left and qualified.
Wow.
Which I think is really, really funny because it really just shows you don't need the credentials. You just need to be in the right place at the right time and everyone else dies.
Yep. There you go.
Good old Wolverine.
Darth Gajara said, "Scaly humanoids who fought the original Guardians of the Galaxy." Okay, yeah. So they're really old.
I really should read some more classic Guardians. I really should.
Mike B keeps telling us about the original Star-Lord stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess I really got to check that out then.
But it's he turns down Professor X and Nightcrawler when they offer him to go into the X-Men.
Okay. I mean, that is a very logical thing for him. Like he was never very quick to join the X-Men in the first place, in the main timeline. So he's definitely a solo act,
Yeah, I guess that's why he's mostly stayed relegated to his own book most of the time.
Yeah.
When he does cross over, it's usually for a limited time. Like X-Force, he's done crossing over with.
Right.
He's officially done now. So
interesting.
Yeah, the only Wolverine that's going to be in there is Laura Kinney.
Okay.
Kinney.
Laura Kinney, yeah, that's good.
So she's now going to be the main Wolverine in the X-Force book.
Yeah. Damn, what a way for Nick to go. Truly.
Yeah, seriously, man, getting taken out by your own flying Ferrari. Oh,
yeah,
man,
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. I'm 56 and I read a lot of comics.
Yeah.
Yep. So Nick Fury going out in style as he always does.
Yep.
Do you think that was later adapted for Phil Coulson, because he also has a flying car?
Oh yeah, no,
which is
true.
Isn't it called Lolita or something like that?
Yeah, some silly name for it.
And there's like a tiki girl on the front of it.
Yeah.
But this has been an awesome show, guys.
Yeah, thanks for everyone for tuning in. Just got a minute left here. So if there's any last claims people want to make, please do.
Or any books that you guys
or any
want
questions
to see.
you guys want us to pull for next time.
Yeah, definitely shoot them down in the comments below, and we'll see if we can grab them. I haven't opened that water, so you can definitely have it.
That was the plan.
But this has been awesome. I've been really enjoying it. What's your top poll for next week? Do you know already?
Next week, I'm not sure. But next week has a lot of good stuff. So a lot of number ones, and Carnage Reigns is starting. So
yeah,
never a dull moment for Marvel.
Something.
There's always events.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what's going to come out next week. I think. Oh wait, Adventures of John Kemp. That's what I'm most excited for.
Oh, okay, cool, good.
At least off the top of my dome, that's definitely what I'm most excited for. So hopefully everyone enjoys their week as we go into
May already. Yeah, we're going into May, getting into May.
Man, time's just flying. This is not fair.
Yeah. But another big week for comics this Wednesday, so make sure to stop in the shop. Fat Jack's here in Philly on Sansom Street, 2006 Sansom. So please come on by.
Yeah, come on down to the shop, and we can definitely assist you if there's any books that you guys are specifically looking for.
Yep, definitely.
Probably the best day is probably not on Saturday itself if you're looking for specific older books. A lot of free comic book day people, but
May 6th, yeah, that is this Saturday.
That is this
Saturday.
So, but if you're coming in for free comic books, come in.
Yep.
We will be having free comics, and hopefully, I looked at some of the titles; they look kind of good. I'm excited. I'm excited for some of them.
So, any last minute claims? Just
last minute claims. Okay.
And we can definitely have more weird and wacky stuff
for next time.
For next week. So. So the infamous Doc Savage statue is $400. $400.
If you want to come in and buy it, you will be the first.
I'm not sure if you're in the area, but if you want it, come on down.
So anyway,
so as always, we have been Fat Jacks. We'll see you guys next week, 4:30 to 7 EST, same time. Come on back. Take care, guys.
Let's go.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.